Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. So, guess what? There was a summit. There was a D&D Summit, both in person and virtual, for invited guests. And needless to say, your bartender was not invited. But Enworld, and I will leave a link up to the thread that I'm looking at. Classic. I haven't even read the whole thing yet. So, by the way, if you find any of this stuff interesting and entertaining, tomorrow night on a very special Talking Crit, Joe Block, the Great Hook Grognard, will be joining myself and Bad Mike to discuss this burning turd pile that is the summit. Because, by the way, they didn't invite creators like if I think of somebody as a creative in the gaming world, right? They're creating gaming content. I don't know. Uh, people like Jane Spahn, Alex Kammer, Alex Macris, or any of these people. But especially people that do like 5e stuff, like Alex Kammer. I don't know too many creators of 5e stuff, so you gotta give me a little slack. But if you think of creators, they're the ones that are writing gaming material. I'm not thinking of people like me doing videos, right? Those are influencers or the press or a combination of both. So let's take a sample of the questions. We're going to start out in the general questions and answer area because some of these questions are just classic. Now, I think a conversation should take place about creators creating with and for wizards would be good. Do you see the need for that? Do you plan to institutionalize a change for that? And this is answers from Crawford and Perkins. They did an AMA, and then Kyle Brink and Dan Rosen came in and answered other stuff. So, I do think we want to be a partner of choice. D&D is a community effort. There's no doubt about that. You're going to see D&D at conventions more. More means you're going to see D&D at conventions. And I'm assuming they're talking about their staff. Because Gamehole, you're going to start seeing people from Wizards at conventions. Maybe Gen Con. I don't know. Origins? Who knows? But that's a big change. I can't speak as to why that dropped off because it was before me. Now, you probably could, because you know why, I'm sure. But we're going to be more visible at conventions, which will allow for more dialogue. Because before, they didn't really want to know what you wanted. They were going to tell you what you wanted, but they're still going to do that. So, folks, let's move on. There's a lack of confidence and distrust in the community right now. Okay? Many of us, these are influencers, were attacked for even coming here. What are you going to put in place protections and restore the lack of trust the community feels? Good question. I think this is what we're doing. I guess this is what we're doing. We're engaging directly. January was horrible. It was not the welcome to D&D team I wanted. I think we lost sight in that moment that in that moment, D&D is a dialogue. While I'm not at all happy with the trust we burned, hey, they're admitting to that. I give them 2 thumbs up for a bit of honesty. But I am happy with where we landed. The SRD is in Creative Commons and irreversibly so, as is Strahd and a few other things that shouldn't have been in there, but I'll leave it out. It's a signal that we want to keep D&D open and inclusive. Rebuilding trust is continuing to build on the dialogue we're all leaning into here. My commitment as the head of D&D, this must be Kyle, is be here and have a dialogue with you and keep it going. It's an ongoing process. And we want feedback aimed at us, not the creators working with us. You shouldn't take abuse for things we do. Follow-up question. Wondering what Wizards will do for us after the conclusion of this event. But people are still going to yell at us. Grow a set of somethings. We've experienced that for a month. It wears down our mental health. It hurts me seeing all the people in this room who took abuse and not seeing Wizards do anything about the harassment we received. What the fuck is Wizards supposed to do? And I'm not a huge defender of Wizards, okay? I'm not somebody who goes out there and goes, yeah, Ghost. I think they're a bunch of. The OGL fiasco burned whatever goodwill I had toward them. But to say Wizards was not doing it, but the harassment that we received, that's if you put yourself out there in the public sphere, all right? You're an influencer, you're a YouTuber, you're a blogger, you are a Twitterer, you do your live streams, you do your real plays. You're putting yourself out there. You're gonna get pushback. You're gonna get people that look at you and go, fuck you, for whatever reason. If you don't have a thick skin, this isn't the place to be. Sometimes we step in and it settles things. And sometimes we say something and it inflames things further. We don't want to create the Streisand effect, so we need feedback from you as to how we can step in and do it better. We want to be active listeners to create better solutions with you that work for all of us. That's a great non-answer, so I will leave it at that. A speaker noted that a lack of response can be just as bad as a poor response. It comes across as a lack of communication. Wizards has a PR department. We do not. We, the community, do not. We're passionate, this community. We appreciate you trying to formulate the answer because we're being attacked in the meantime while you're waiting. Dixon agreed that sometimes we need to respond quickly and sometimes we need to step back, reassess, and formulate an answer. Yes, there are issues we need to address and do it better. I'm not going to stand in front of you today with a plan that is half-baked. We don't have a plan. Yes, it's going to take some time to make a plan for the future. There is none, there will be none. We really encourage you to talk to us and give us truth that's unvarnished because the only way we'll be able to make that feedback useful. I want people feeling comfortable speaking the truth, whether it's in surveys, coming into our Twitter DMs, etc., because that gives us the information needed to make actual changes. We're working toward getting that out and making a space that's better for all creators. BTT question, no big deal. When creators are constantly taking the hits on behalf of Wizards of the Coast because we're the people can access, it takes a toll and wears on us. Are you putting together mental health and support resources because we need them? Not their responsibility. You're not even fucking freelancers. Okay? You're influencers. You're making money off of ads and sponsorships because, or none of the above. Maybe you're not making any money off it. If you can't handle the pressure, maybe you take a break. Okay? Or, as my lovely wife Rach pointed out to me when I was reading through this initially, do a search on the internet, Google it, find the resources. There are some that are freely available. It's not Wizards of the Coast responsibility to hold your Care Bear hands. I am sorry. This is what we get as a society when we give out participation trophies. And people don't realize that real life includes assholes. Real life includes negativity. Real life, not everybody wins. Real life, you will have pushback. I can't believe I have to explain this to theoretically adults. But the answer from WotC, we're working on this within the company, but it's different when it's outside the company. Exactly. Send us your suggestions for how you can be supported. These are hard questions. I understand the concern about being targeted online. We had that happen to our own team members. It does take a toll. I've seen it on their faces. Super difficult problem without a straightforward answer. It isn't Wizards of the Coast responsibility. Now, obviously, they get a lot of the benefit from you acting as an influencer for them, but you are not their responsibility. Employees have access to mental health resources and support. We as freelancers do not. It becomes toxic. We're here because we love this game. It feels like you don't have our back, and we need you to. By the way, this is the best non-answer I have seen in a long time anywhere. Thank you for sharing so openly. Now go screw. Not really. I'm adding that last part in as a joke, but really what they're saying is, I understand you have a problem. I understand you have issues. It isn't ours to, it isn't for us to take on that burden. You have to find a way to solve your issues. Now, we're going to skip ahead a bit because it gets into stuff that I'm not going to delve into right now. Core book revisions. Folks, if you've been following this channel since they started announcing that there was going to be a new version of D&D coming out in 2024, my prediction from the start was they're not going to really change the rules much. Yeah, they're going to move stuff around. Yeah, they're going to change fluff. But the core rules and mechanics are not going to change. Why is that? Because 5e works. Why? They're not going to fuck the golden goose. So, and Crawford began by talking about loving D&D and how important it is. It's about making the game rich, and it's 50 years old, and yada, yada, yada. Our first goal for revised books is to make the game easier to navigate. All right. We're going to encourage people to play before you make a character. It's not a new edition. It never was meant to be. So this one D&D isn't even going to be, it's not going to be D&D 6. It's not going to be 5.5. In theory, you can still play the future D&D with your current books. Now, is that true? I don't know. We shall see. Again, it's not 6th edition or even 5.5. This is a very important nuance. We're attempting something that has not been done before in D&D, revising the game in place. When you got 3.5, you had to replace your 3.0 books. Okay. 4.0, totally different. 5.0, totally different from 4. But they're saying you'll be able to make a character with the 2014 core books and use it at the same table the character made with the 2024 books. Okay. Now, that was a promise that was made at the beginning of 5e that you can use any edition. They're not saying that. They're saying that you can use the 2014 books for 5e with the 2024 books for 5e. So we're revising 5e and giving you a fresh coat of paint, but it's the same game. We want people to buy the new books because they're excited, not because they have to. All right, but they're not saying you can take the 2024 books and sit down at a table that's running with the 2014 books. So is it backwards compatible to 2014? Apparently. Is it forward compatible from 2014 to 2024? I don't know how close we're going to get to that. So there are a lot more questions. There's a lot more stupidity here. I hope nobody takes offense by me saying it's a lot more stupidity here. But some of these questions are good. Some of these questions blow my brain. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is just if you see my frustration, just wait till you see Bad Mike and Joe Block. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., we are going to have a live stream. We are going to go over all of this shit. You will get the opinions of 3 old school gamers as to, I guess, one D&D Fiasco 2.0. If the OGL was 1.0, this is going to be 2.0. So let's see how that plays out tomorrow. Folks, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll this dice, roll them well. Like I said, 8 p.m. tomorrow here on this very channel. God bless. I will see you mañana. Laters.